Charlie is ready to go.
Number 30 Charlie, just departure be at your own risk. Once airborne, turn the 2-door back up on.
What's up, guys? Welcome to update number 2 on the Kitfox upgrades and rebuild. As you can see with the plane, I was able to get the wings off of it. Wasn't able to film it because I just kind of wanted to focus on taking those off. I didn't want to bend up anything. Wings are pretty fragile. So I was just really careful doing all that. And we were able to get them off. And as well as flap-ons, which are down there on the floor. And then in the back of the room, we got the lift struts. Lift struts will be sandblasted, then repainted, as well as some of the accessories that go along with them. And then the wings will be sanded down and repainted. There's a couple little areas that I think need some fixes with some fabric. So just little areas like here where there's a little bubble. There's nothing wrong with the rib, at least nothing I could feel, and no damage. And they're still very strong. I just think that maybe when the fabric was applied, there was areas that didn't hold up all that well to its shrink. So we'll get all those fixed up, and yeah. But today, since we got those off, I'll get some aluminum paint cleaner, get all those paint surfaces cleaned up, and then today we're just gonna go through the panel. I gotta get it off of here, get it labeled, or everything labeled on there, so when it comes back on, well, not all the stuff is coming back on. I'm gonna add a new radio. The engine monitoring stuff that's on there is gonna be the same. So I decided to not go with the G3X just because of the engine monitoring stuff that is with the 670 engine. I don't think it'd work out all that well, and it's like the G3X is way beyond what this engine is. So we're gonna stick with the EGT and the water temp gauges. So these two gauges will stay, the tack will stay, although I kind of want to get a different tack. But everything else will go. And I think I'm going to go with Garmin GTR 200B, G5, and the Garmin 660 for a GPS. And everything else will be new switches, breakers, fuses, etc., etc. And just kind of clean up the panel, make it look a little better and lighter, hopefully. Other than that, we're going to get to work on labeling everything and see how far we can get today.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Got all the panel disconnected from all the wiring and power, etc., etc. Got it all labeled so it could go back together pretty easily. Now I'm not doing, most of it's coming out. All the switches are being changed. A lot of the avionics are being changed, but I made sure to label it just in case I were to change my mind and want to use some of this. So it's kind of a mess in there, but you can see I just labeled it, made it pretty easy to go back together. So now I'm just gonna pull the panel and then start to clean up all the wires, so it's a little bit easier to paint and not have those wires flying all over the place. And then we'll move on to the next task.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Panels out. Came out pretty easy. Just had to label everything, like I said. Yeah, pretty simple. Wiring was a lot less than what I thought it was going to be, and pretty easy to trace. Just needs to be cleaned up, and maybe, I don't know, new wires, just cause it'll last longer. But here's the panel taken out. Like I said, it's just all ran from power from a bus bar, and then to fuses and or straight to device, and then you got your grounding, primer lines, etc., all in here. Not sure what the next step is today, other than clean up these wires, and then maybe pull out that ELT, because I think I'm gonna get a new one. That's one of the older versions, and I want a 406 in there. And then get weights on the battery that I pulled out. Here's the battery. It's quite a bit heavier than the new battery that I'm going to be getting to replace. So that'll be a little bit of weight savings. Hopefully save a little weight on the panel. Although it's not going to be very much. Those instruments that were in there were pretty damn light. But if you take out some of them and put in less, then you should be a little less weight. All we're doing right now is getting this tail section off. I got to pull off the wheel, and then I can pull off the rudder itself. And then the wheel's just going to go back on so we can move it around for paint.
Catch me howling at the moon.
Alright, as you can see, rudder is off. Tail wheel's back on so we can transport it around. Yeah, now I'm just going to start getting together all the metal parts that need to be sandblasted and then repainted, and or the aluminum parts that I need to clean up then repaint. So when it comes to painting this thing, there's going to be a lot of masking and you know, making sure I don't do overspray like here. See all the overspray that wasn't masked very well. And I think also I'm gonna try and figure out a way to clean up that stuff, because it just looks kind of bad. So should be pretty easy to fix, but we'll have to figure out a way how to do that. All right, continue on. There, guys. We're gonna remove this cooler for the antifreeze. The reason we gotta do that is because the new gear attaches right here and to the very back, and then the cabane V goes down right where this is placed. So it's gotta be pushed forward. Yeah, we're just gonna drain all this antifreeze out and then pull that off, and then once we get the new gear on, we can figure out where we need to set that, and hopefully it won't be too much further forward where it's not getting as much effective cooling, but I'm sure there's somewhere that so many people have added them already that why wouldn't they have an idea of that it works just fine. So we'll get that removed and then continue on.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night.
Got the cooler taken off without making too much of a mess, which is nice. But like I said, that it just needs to be shifted forward for the new TK1 gear with shocks and conveyed V. It's more like a Cub style gear, a lot more stout. So it'd be a little bit better. Kind of interested to see how much that gear lifts the profile of the front of the aircraft, but that T3 shock should help out with the AOA of it. I should probably figure out which tail wheel needs to go on it before getting too deep into that. Get that ordered up because everything's just taking forever to ship. So as for the airframe itself, I think I'm pretty much to the point of I need to start getting everything either removed for paint or sanded or just repaired, because there's quite a bit of fabric repairs like this right here. I want to repair up to the point the cable comes out. Just would be a little bit better. You don't get water down in your tubes. Things like this chafing. Probably add a new tape onto that. New tape here. Fix that hole that was done by this elevator push-pull rod. And then switch out that bolt. Old tail wheel still on there. Gotta repair that. So just a lot of little things when it comes to the fabric that needs either removed or repaired, and get everything ordered. So shouldn't be too bad. I do have the Behringer wheels and brakes ordered. I have the TK1 shocks and gear ordered. Tomorrow I will order the G5 GTR 200B and the Garmin 660. I think they're 8 to 9 weeks out. That's what it said on the Garmin site, but maybe Northern Lights Avionics could get them a little quicker. Hopefully. They don't really, I'm sure they're not doing anyone any favors, so, because everyone's ordering and not getting anything. But yeah, other than that, little things, change out the fuel lines, get it all cleaned up. Pretty exciting though. It's really not going to be that hard of a process other than getting everything here and then bolt up from there and spraying new paint. But I also have to figure out how to get rid of like this paint without taking off the powder coat. I'm not sure if there's a cleaner that I can use, like stuff like this. You just see red on the tubes where the tube should just be bright white, and it's all from overspray. Maybe it wasn't masked off quite good enough, but maybe get some MEK on there and something like that that will take it off but won't take off the powder coat. But MEK might be a little too rough for that. Other than that, yeah, gonna end it here. Appreciate you guys coming along. It's gonna be a pretty cool little plane once we're finished up. It's gonna be brand new looking and perform really well. Probably make someone happy. I will be selling it when I'm done with it. This is just kind of a project for me, so if anyone is interested in buying it, I don't know a price yet. or if I'm going to be selling it to a friend or what, but just so you guys know, it will be for sale at some point. Alright, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.